Hi folks, I wanted to share my experience with microblading and laser tattoo removal, so here we are. My story kind of covers a span of 7 years, so the first chunk of this is just going to be a voiceover, and the second chunk of it is video diary style after I had my laser tattoo removal procedure done. So let's get into it. My journey with microblading began back in 2017 when I was living in Las Vegas. I don't have a ton of video, so there's more photos than anything to reference, but regardless, I kept up with my appointments for at least a year, and not gonna lie, they were slaying, so mission accomplished. But eventually, I started to feel like the maintenance cost was too much and that I'd rather just let them fade. But little did I know, joke was on me because they did not fade well. Ultimately, it didn't matter much at the time because COVID-19 kind of set upon the world and brow maintenance was the last of anyone's worries. So fast forward years later, the stress of COVID-19 is basically easing on, and I realized that letting these brows fade away on their own was never going to happen. And I decided to look into nanoblading and nano shading instead, but many estheticians didn't want to work over my existing microblading. So what other option was there? Basically, laser tattoo removal. And fortunately, I have a local cosmetic laser dermatology clinic, so I chose to go forward with laser tattoo removal. Did my best to do some research online via Reddit and YouTube to see what other people experienced, but honestly, I didn't find much. So I had my consult, scheduled the procedure, and the rest is history. That is recorded in some short vlogs. It is 8 p.m. and I just had a Pico laser treatment on my brows to remove my microblading. Sis, it is bad. And I'm not quite sure what to think. And I'm a little worried. But I just actually changed these gauze and I will come back in a couple hours to show what it's looking like. Now it is about 2 hours later. It is really red and it's bleeding, but I put Vaseline on it. Sis, it's bad. My procedure was at 4:30, so it's 4.5 hours later, and it looks like this. More update tomorrow. It is now 8 a.m. the next morning, and I just took off the gauze pads that I slept with. Y'all ain't ready for this. My eyes are swollen here. I don't think that they're bleeding anymore, but my eyes are just really swollen. Should I go back to the dermatologist and be like, bro, what happened here? Is this overtreatment or did you do this on purpose? To be continued. Back for an update. We are 2 days post procedure, and yesterday I did end up going back to the dermatologist just to get some progress pictures and ask if this is what he expected, and he was pretty unshook and just said, "Well, just looks like it's healing." So it is November 9th, and about 8 o'clock in the morning. I just woke up, and we're about to see what these are looking like today. I don't have to wear these gauze, but it just helps with any oozing that comes out past the Vaseline. And if I go outside, it's already blocked from sunlight, so it just kind of makes it easier before it's scabbed. So we are still pretty red, but just blotted, and there's nothing. Swelling a little bit still, not as much as yesterday. Gonna just try to stay home and lay low, basically. We are back for a check-in, and I am 3 days post-procedure, and I can finally kind of see my eyebrows, and reaction is, wow, they're really red. Because up until now, they're just kind of like this really angry, intense red, but now they're kind of like, oh, I see that it's actually red colored, not just inflammation or redness from the laser, irritation, which I guess now kind of makes sense, because when I went back to the dermatologist, he was kind of just like, yeah, that redness is just the pigment reacting from the laser. And I was like, bro, this bad though? And yeah, I guess is this bad. So yeah, this is how they're looking. They don't have any Vaseline on them right now. They're just kind of, as they are, they're a little flaky, and you can see my eyebrow color. My hair's turned lighter, as was expected. You can kind of see it here. Yeah. 3 days post. Update. 5 days post procedure. I am dry. The sardi has flaked off. This morning I washed my face, and that's when this kind of started coming off. You can see it flaking like here and here. Hello, we are day 6, 3:50 p.m. Brows are looking like this. Some shedding happened there last night. This is just dry and kind of flaky. I am using Vaseline when it feels itchy, because periodically it'll start feeling itchy, so I'll put some Vaseline on just to kind of like re-moisturize. And yeah, day 6. I can see that it's like pretty pink here still, which hopefully that will heal away, because originally it was the redness that I was trying to eliminate. So we'll see how this goes. But day 6, starting to flake. I've washed my face, and I think a lot of the shedding just happens like when water runs down my face. Day 7 update. We have shed our scabs, and they came off because I was keeping Vaseline on them, and as you kind of just like apply it, once they're like pretty moist, they just kind of move around. So you use a Q-tip to apply the Vaseline, and they kind of just moved. So I just woke up and, well, I just got out of bed, and this is what they're looking like. Hello. It is June 1st, 2024 now, and it's been a really just very long time since my last update on my tattoo removal for my microblading from 2018. So now that's 6 years ago. So at first I was very, very concerned about how it was healing. It was like weeping, seeping, and very angry, inflamed red. And now, we're in June and had that done in November. So it's about almost 9 months since I had the procedure done. It has improved quite a bit since then. I had some tails before, and now they are, effectively completely gone. I do have just a slight bit of pigment here still at the head of this brow, where it was really prominent before. So I can still see it pretty well here. But it is very faint compared to how it was. And it kind of is, it sits in the shadow of where my optical bone is right here. So looking straight on, there is actually a shadow cast, but as I look up, you can see here, it's very light now. Similarly for the other side, primary concern was this tail, which it's still here a bit. I had the upper part of my brow done there. It's pretty well faded, virtually gone. So this is where it's at right now. It's looking pretty good, to be quite honest. I was very concerned. This is freaking out, quite literally, immediately after, but I'm pretty happy with the results now, and kind of on the fence, 50-50, whether or not I'll do another session. I think at the end of the year, I'll have a better idea if I want to do that or not. And I will put some photos for comparison on the side. Thanks for watching.